I'm Abby.
And I'm Anna.
This has been a clusterfuck.
This is serious beef.
This is serious beef.
Welcome.
Beef. Olivia's back again.
We can't shake her.
Okay, well.
Well, listen, listener, I think I literally said on the podcast, maybe I'll cut it out. That way I don't have to live in that shame. But I said live on podcast last episode, Olivia, I'm so glad you're here because I have a question I need to ask you. Did I ask the question? No. Not once.
What was the question?
The question was, this is
Okay.
a leftover, which is, it's on theme.
Yes, we have nothing to talk about, but we realize we have a lot of
a lot of
stuff that we're like,
leftovers.
oh, we'll get to that. We'll save it for next time. So let's address the leftovers. We're just going to do a whole episode of leftovers.
Potentially.
We decided, I decided we're just going to go where the wind takes us.
Absolutely.
Although there's no wind in here, so I don't know. We're not going to go very far.
Not even the fan is
I'm
on.
turning the fan on.
All right, Oliver, my question for you. We talked about, may he rest in peace, Couple Pot bit it. But you said, or Olivia had said, it's not a big deal. I'll just win another one. So my question is, that homecoming has come and
It
gone.
has. She did go.
Did you in fact win another fish?
I didn't have any cash, and Sam told me I shouldn't try to win one.
Smart.
Yes.
I
So-
told her not to win another
I'll have to
fish.
get you. I'll have to get you
No,
another fish.
no,
I spent Sam and I spent basically all our cash on getting buckets, and then buckets
Hell yeah.
full of strawberry
Buckets of
daiquiri.
what?
Buckets
what?
of strawberry
Daiquiri.
daiquiris.
That
That's
was
new.
an option?
That's new.
I mean, do you know?
and these are big buckets.
Those
Gen Con?
didn't last long. I'm just gonna let you know that right now.
Gen Con is the first weekend in August.
Listener, we have a stalker in the
Listeners, you're outsider. Oh, it's the board. They just let anybody in here.
You know what? We're at the Mosquito Library, folks, and there is a movie night tonight at the Mosquito Library. They're showing the movie If. It's Ryan Reynolds is in it. It's something about your imaginary friends. I have never seen it, so I don't know anything about it. Anyway, she did not bring home a new fish, thankfully. 'Cause I'm the one that has to take care of them.
Gen Con
Fake.
is the first full weekend in August every single year.
Yes. So you always miss homecoming.
Which is a little bit of a bummer
It
because that
is.
means that if we always go to Gen Con, I'll never get to go to homecoming.
Well, no, but you don't always have to go to NECA. You can always go every other year or
Well,
something.
well, that's fucking lame.
Okay.
What do you mean every other year? I just learned about 2 rooms and a boom. How can I not go?
Should we do it right? She's gonna missing something.
It's true. I brought a
miss-
board
I
game
can't
with
speak.
me
Miss
today that we picked up at Gen Con just in
Gotcha.
case we run out of shit to talk about.
Okay.
Doubt it, but you know it could happen.
Okay.
Okay.
But you know how much we like the sound of our own voices.
It's
so-
true.
Which I need to address the fact that maybe this is my beat for the week, but I feel like my voice sounds really deep these days. I'm like, I don't know if it's since the Pink concert, maybe I was just like cheering and yelling and stuff.
Well, do you know, I heard a thing about this.
Okay, good.
Oh
Let me
my
hear
God.
Okay,
about this.
so around usually the age of 12 or 13, in your case apparently 90, your body starts to go through changes. You may be noticing hair in certain places. Your voice will deepen.
Okay, God damn it. I'm very gullible, apparently. I sent a picture to the playlist party people, and it's kind of this faded lettering, and it says, "This text is invisible and can only be seen by whores." And I sent it to the playlist party people. And Sam says back, "Why are you sending a picture of blank images?"
Yes.
And of course, Ashley's like, "Yeah, I think Sam's right. It's just plain white." And of course, I'm like, you know what?
Fire!
Shit like this doesn't work because my children are as big a smartasses as I am.
Yeah.
And so they always one up me, and yeah. Who turned out to be the whore? Me.
I put a little question mark on it. Like, what's this?
What's it? I don't know. I can't see nothing. Yeah. Son of a biscuit.
Well, actually, that's I think that's actually a leftover.
Well, we just did a new playlist.
New
party
playlist.
of love songs.
Love songs.
Which some of us really liked and some of us were not happy with this choice.
But the thing is, that we all did what we usually do, is that we kind of take a theme and we all seem to interpret it a little bit differently.
Which I think is awesome.
100%.
I mean, that's kind of why we do it.
100%.
That's the whole point.
Because-
Plus, then we kind of introduce each other to maybe some different music that
Yeah.
we've never heard before, which I think is fantastic.
So I came in, I did more like my favorite kind of love
Just
songs.
your favorites, yeah.
Right.
Because I thought
that
about
are-
doing that. I just thought about just picking my
Right.
favorites. So that was my
Right.
first
I had like
thought.
a Tim McGraw best friend.
okay, yeah.
I cut the Can't Help Falling in Love with You by Elvis. I cut that at the last
you did.
second.
Which is lucky
because Bear included it.
It was on Bear's. And hers was, which was really interesting because hers was, she went like vinyl old stuff.
Yeah.
Really old stuff. And so none of us had anything. I don't know if we had any duplicates at all this
I don't think any of us
we did.
overlapped, but I haven't run the numbers yet, so there
That's
could be
true. Because
overlap
there's
last time.
sometimes we do overlap and we have duplicates, but no,
And
I don't think we
shame
did.
you mercilessly.
And yes, she does. She
Because
does.
right now, at this point, the last 2 or 3, there's been no excuse. I have a spreadsheet that I shared with all of you.
Shared the spreadsheet.
And I'm now remembering that listener Kate, when we were at Gen Con, requested that I shared this spreadsheet with her.
Oh yeah.
So that,
Okay.
you know, because hey, you know what, honestly, it's got hundreds of songs
Hundreds
on
of songs, and if you
Millions.
if you're like me, like I really like to listen to
I like
new
a lot of
stuff.
different
I don't
stuff.
want to ever just kind of get in a rut and listen to the same thing over and over again.
Right.
So I love it. I love that we do this and we can get some new music. So
We've kind of perfected it now. We do 12 songs plus one honorable mention.
yes,
And so 13 songs in total.
because
And
we
it's-
started with like 20, and then we throw in a couple more.
and it just
mentions.
it was literally an all day thing.
Yeah, it took too long.
I've been considering, because I know you guys listen to a lot of K-pop.
We do.
I've been
Don't ever expose me like that.
I was thinking we could do non-English songs.
oh,
Because
okay.
you guys, like I said, you guys listen to a lot of K-pop, and I don't really listen to much K-pop at all, other than the stuff that you guys force upon
force
me.
it.
Because again, it's only 13 songs. Because I don't know that I have like a ton, but I probably could put 13 together.
sure,
you know what I
sure
mean?
you could.
Me and Ash will get in a kick where we like to listen to like Spanish music,
Okay.
or I even we'll listen to, what is it? Oh, Eurovision.
Yeah,
Is
the Eurovision stuff is great.
is really
isn't
good,
it?
and a lot of that is in
There's
English.
some fun stuff.
For the most
That's
part,
true.
it's in English. But like, there's one I think from maybe like 2020 was COVID, I think,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a guy who his whole song is in Italian. Love it, right? so
Oh,
that whole
gosh,
song's in
that's
Italian.
probably beautiful. Yeah.
Uh huh.
I know Ash loves her Shakira, so I know she
Uh-huh.
likes some Spanish.
So-
And speaking of like Eurovision, I'm like currently addicted to Måneskin right now too.
What's it in?
The Måneskin, it's like an Italian band.
Oh, okay.
They do the I Want to Be Your Slave and like the Beggin songs.
I haven't.
And they were
Beggin'?
Yeah.
I know that song.
and they were on Eurovision.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think they
She's
won.
played some stuff for me. I agree, they're
Nice.
really good. Yeah,
Um,
awesome.
Celine
to
Dion
listen
got
to.
her start on.
Are
Well,
you-
I don't want to say got her start, but she I believe Celine Dion was on Eurovision. She won. Yeah, ABBA. There's been a few. Hold on a minute.
Let me look.
Celine Dion won Eurovision in 1988. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
And she I believe she sang in French.
I'm sure.
And after that, so that kind of like was a big break for her. And then I think it was like her manager spoke to her and was like, listen, here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you really want to make it big, you have to learn English.
Right.
And you have to sing in English.
Right.
And so she did, and then she was huge. Right.
Yes.
But yeah, no, yeah, she competed on Eurovision.
That is wild and wacky stuff. I had no idea.
But so there's a bunch of people who are on there that are like, they don't do like anything else really, like that's just like their one thing is like because it's just a song contest. It's not like American Idol where it's like the performer necessarily wins. It's like the song wins. So that's why when they perform, because they perform multiple times, it's the exact same song. You do the exact same thing every single time.
Really?
Yep. And it's the song that's supposed to win. And so,
Wow.
yeah. So a lot of people are like, they're like, some people are like, I'm trying to make it big, like say Celine Dion or ABBA or whatever, like as musicians. And some people are like, no, I'm a songwriter and I want to make it big, and they can sing. And so that's what they do. And then they'll get their career started that way.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh my
I've only watched a little bit of it, especially stuff that you played for me, so I don't know that much about it.
There's
Yeah.
it's actually like really fun. And that was one of the things that like during COVID, when we were like grasping at straws of things to entertain ourselves, right? I went back through the catalog basically of the Eurovision
Oh, okay. Yeah.
singers and whatnot, because it's such a diverse mix, right,
It
from all
is.
these different countries.
That's true.
So highly recommend anybody, because I don't ever pay attention to the live. I don't know really, but then I'll go back once in a while if I'm like interested. I'm like, oh, I gotta go find out what's going on.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's an idea.
Yeah, I mean, you can throw the Macarena on there. You know, it's Japanese.
Don't fucking out me like that. That was your fault, and I was 5.
And it's your fault that I had to say you were 29. And we all got in trouble for that. I took you down with me.
I know. I got yelled at by the first grade teacher.
I don't understand. Why would she yell at you about that?
Because she's mean.
Yeah, that's true. She was a bitch.
I don't care. She's mean. I jokingly, it was, I think, the priest's birthday when I was teaching and Liv and I were at school. And it was his birthday, and he was like turning 70.
Okay.
And Liv, I think she turned to me and said, "How old are you?" And I said 29, which of course I was not 29.
Yeah.
Because I was 35 when I had her, so you know,
Right.
not 29. And she tells her first grade teacher that I'm 29.
Yeah.
And the first grade teacher's like, "No, she is not. Your mom is not 29. You know, quit making up stuff." And like yells at Liv.
Yeah.
And then she comes in and Liv's like, "Well, that's what my mom said." You know.
Of course,
Like,
call me a liar.
And again,
I have no concept of time.
Right. And again, she's 5 or 6, so she doesn't know. And yeah, because so then the teacher literally comes to me after school and says, "You need to not lie to your kid and tell her that." I'm like, "It was a joke, Miss First Grade Teacher, evil person,
Evil first grade
good
teacher.
Lord." So yeah, I'm like, okay, you need to just get a sense of humor. And
Get away from me.
Get away from me.
I'm just like, who
How do you go through life without a sense of humor? I'll never understand it. But it's funny you say that, no sense of time, because when I was teaching, you would ask, I can remember asking students, "How old do you think I am?" And you would get guesses anywhere from 13 to, 85. Yeah, it would just be this hilarious range of guesses because they have, you're right, they have no sense of time.
no concept. Yeah. Because because when you're 5 years is a lifetime.
Yeah. Well,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is your
And
lifetime.
That's what you know what I mean. Like, and
Right.
so it's like, that seems like a really long amount of time.
Right.
So anything more than like maybe 10 is like, oh my God, I couldn't imagine doing this twice. You know what I mean?
I mean, they would never guess their own age because they knew clearly I was older than them.
Right.
But yeah,
Yeah.
they would have no
The
idea.
younger the child is, usually the wider range of guesses.
Right? Yes, exactly. Once they get a little older, they start getting an idea, and yeah, it's not quite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. I got another leftover here. By the way, did we have a beef? Did we even say?
I just said because my voice is getting deeper, and I don't know
That's
why.
right.
I think this time I feel very scratchy and kind of hoarse a little bit because of the Pink concert, because I'm singing along at the top of my lungs, and you're screaming, yelling. So I think that's what it was. But every time I lose my voice or do that to it, damage my voice, I guess, it never comes back all the way. It just stays a little bit deeper every time. And I'm like, why?
So I had pneumonia like twice in my life.
Okay.
Once when I was like, I think it was like first or second grade or something like that. I was really young, if you recall.
Okay.
And then the other time was me and Ash went up to Wisconsin the first year that we were dating, and I got sick while I was there. I mean, I did not get out of bed for like the last 2 days we were up there. And we're driving back, and I'm like sweating buckets. I'm so ill on the way back, and I go in, and they're like, "Yeah, you have walking pneumonia." Like I was like, "Oh, okay, good." Ever since having that, any time I get like a cough, or if I get like hoarse or whatever a little bit, I feel it in my lungs immediately.
Right. Yeah.
And-
Honestly, ever since COVID, I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have an inhaler now. I
Yeah.
never had an inhaler, and I'm talking
You're
to.
right. Same for me. Yeah.
I'm talking to the nurse practitioner over at the office, and because I had like a cold I just couldn't shake. I was coughing so bad it sounded like it was all in my lungs, and then I was like wheezing, and she was like, "No, it's not in your lungs. You're okay, but pneumonia apparently can, like, the damage of that will last years."
They said that you're right. I just heard that last time I had it. Same
Yeah.
thing. They said the same thing to me. I'm like, why can't I seem to get over this? But yeah. And we were both so sick not too long ago because we skipped an episode, if you recall. And it was the same thing, right?
It sticks around. It's like recovering from it can take a few days to 6 months sometimes. And then depending on how severe it is, you may never actually fully like recover from it.
Right.
And then however old you are or whatever, it affects it too. But yeah.
Let's get to the leftovers.
Okay. Well, let me run through real
we want to
quick.
remember to address here.
J-Dog had told me that when we go to Gen Con, we had to stop in Casey, which has the world's largest rocking chair that we love.
Yes.
That we needed to stop there, go to a restaurant called the Great House of Pizza, and get the garlic knots.
Oh, yes.
Because apparently
I
they're
do
delicious.
remember you telling me the garlic knots are delicious.
And I was like, okay, I'll have to go. Like, I'll have to try it.
okay.
We're driving to Gen Con. I do a little Google search because we're not going to be able to stop on the way there, but we could stop on the way back on Sunday.
Sure, why not?
So we're like, okay, well, are they open Sunday? Because if they weren't open, we were going to have to
That's
force our way
true.
to stop
That's
there.
true. Okay.
We look it up. Well, they were closed. We're like, oh shit. And then we realized it's closed because the place burned down.
Oh no.
I message J Dog immediately.
Okay.
Are you aware that the Great House of Pizza has burned down? She goes, what?
No.
She's like, I have to call my mom.
Oh no. This is devastating.
So I'll
news.
never get him. Never gonna get
So
him.
they're not going to reopen. I
Well,
guess.
I don't
Well,
know.
who
It
knows?
says-
Maybe.
It said temporarily.
Well,
but,
there you go. Maybe they'll rebuild.
Well, it burned down in November of 2023.
Oh,
I know.
That has been a while.
Just
It
missed
has
them.
been.
That's
just missed
unfortunate.
them.
Well, that's a bummer.
That is a bummer.
I was going to tell you that we did our pet episode and we forgot to mention your 3 little hamsters.
Oh,
That you had when you were little.
the
Do you
hell were their
remember?
names? There was like Cuddles, Nibbles,
And buttons.
Buttons.
Cuddles, nibbles, and buttons. And one
Who
of
the
them.
hell named them?
Livia loved the. You did. I know.
Why was I named
You
them
wanted
such-
this cute little sweet little thing, but they never were. They were bitey. So
Cuddles was kind of a bitch.
Yeah, Cuddles-
Nibbles was the best, but then he
And
died.
they died. They all died very quickly.
I know.
They're
Like, have you even like read?
I think
I
if
mean,
you
the
just look at
Reddit
them
stories of,
cross-eyed
like-
and they have heart attacks, so yeah.
I blame her.
What?
Well,
like,
you
have
loved them
have
and you wanted to
even
play with them.
read like the different people that have hamsters and how they died, where it's like someone lost their hamster and then one day it comes crawling out from underneath the refrigerator, and the hamster was so scared that it died of a heart attack after
then.
they finally found it.
After it found its way out. Oh my god.
You're skipping the part that it had been missing for years.
Oh my
Like
god.
it had been missing for like 2 years.
Well, I could see that, you know, if it's tiny, you could not find it for a long time. I've heard of people losing like their snakes in their house and like not being able to find them, or different reptiles and type things. But yeah, so Liv loved the hamsters and wanted to play with them, so she would keep going in there and opening the cage to try to play with them, and then it would bite her because it didn't want to
and
be
then
out.
did she close the cage?
No, she would leave it open. And one time one of them got out. I can't remember which one it
All
was.
of them, I think.
Well, no, the one that got out.
Oh, Cuddles got out multiple times.
And it
The
was
little
like
brown
the
one.
middle of the night. And some reason you realize that it has gotten out.
The cage door is open. Oh shit.
So you call for your dad. We both go down there, and he goes in the room, and we're like, oh shit, the hamster is not in the cage. And I shut your bedroom door and stayed on the outside. And I had a fly swatter, and I was going to kick him back into play, and he tried to
You
go
were
to the
not.
door.
You were gonna bring that.
I was just gonna try to keep him from getting out. We're sliding across the door, trying to like keep him from getting out. But it never
I
came
had a fly
towards the door.
swatter and I was gonna gently pick up the hamster and place it back. Wow!
Okay, I'm
You ever
not
see Whack-A-Mole?
not a fan of rodents. You guys were in the room, and Sam was asleep. She hadn't even woken up at this point.
She sleeps. The light is on.
The light is on, full light is on. Sam's out, but we didn't call Sleepy Sam for nothing. Anyway, so your dad is on the floor. He's crawling around the floor, looking under the beds, looking at everything, trying to find this hamster. Finally, he sees it under one of the dressers.
Yeah.
Okay, and he goes, I don't know if I can even do it. I don't know if I can even say it.
He goes, there it is. Because as he started to say is, it charged.
It charged right in his face. And I was like, and I'm outside going, oh shit.
I do not scream like a little girl.
At this time, Sam wakes up and it is now like, what's going on?
I'm laughing my ass
You're
off.
like, Wayne catches the critter and put him back in the cage and close the cage. And then Liv were like, don't open the cage anymore.
She proceeded to then open the cage multiple times.
Multiple more times, yes.
Well,
So-
here's the thing. That cage actually sucked. And I'll tell you why. Because we thought, oh, look how cool. It's got this little hamster wheel
Yes.
that you come up out of the full thing and you could go in that. And as you ran on it, it would spin in a circle.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they like to like take all their food and like they put a little, that's where they make a little nest where he'd sleep.
Yep.
He liked being a little separate up there because you couldn't get to him.
Of course.
Olivia.
They hid up there a lot and took their food, took that little cache of food up there, yeah.
Yeah. And so he puts all this food and shit up there. And then in the middle of the night, he runs the wheel.
He's around the wheel.
Maracas all night
You
long.
could hear it all the way to the hall. That shit was rattling. Like I said,
And
and the
it's
rockets were
flinging
going
food everywhere.
out of the
Because it's
cage.
not like sealed because he's got to be able to breathe.
Yeah.
So little bits of food went up flying everywhere. Now Did we think, we should put something heavy so that the wheel cannot spin around? No.
No, because they really like to run on it.
know.
And they're nocturnal, so of course they do it at night.
It's like, you little fucker, shut
Yeah,
the fuck
while
up.
everybody's trying to sleep. So we did forget to talk about your hamsters, so that was the, I thought I would address that on the leftovers
I will
someday.
never forget Swirly.
And here we are, today's the day.
What?
My
Her first fish.
Swirly. Oh, that was a rough time, man. That was a rough time.
What?
I never cried at a marine burial.
A burial.
That was the first fish he had, and he lived a long time. Each classroom got a fish and got to name the fish,
Okay.
and then you could buy the fish. And I bought the one that she
Swirly.
named, which was Swirly.
Swirly.
And he lived for a good long time.
How much did that fish cost?
Oh, not very much. It was a goldfish.
$1 million.
I think
It's just your nice little donation to.
I think it was the same year that we got to do principal for a day.
Ooh,
That's another story for another time.
that's okay. That's some leftovers for another day. And Olivia's became not just a principal but a dictator for a day.
She
No,
tore down
honestly,
the
I did.
establishment from the inside out.
Honestly, I did. I called down the kid that I didn't get along with down to the office.
Did you actually?
Yeah, I was like, Mr. Principal, man. I was like, can I call down the student? I had to call my 4th grade teacher. I was like, can he come down? Is he available? Like, I don't know if you guys are like busy right now.
And did she send him to the office?
Yeah, she did. She sent him down.
She said,
And like, the
well,
principal-
well.
The principal's like, is there a reason that you're calling him down? I was like, yes. He's misbehaving or something. I was like,
Expelled.
I think you are banned from the ground.
The abuse of power of this one. Gee.
I would never act like, oh, do I get to like eat lunch in the teacher
Right,
room?
right.
Olivia, expelled. Every child.
We have public executions on the blacktop.
Jury duty.
Bring out the guillotine. Expelling them isn't strong enough. We need murder.
Oh my god! I didn't know.
The guillotine.
Line up on the freaking.
Well, this
line
is-
up Mrs.
you know-
Wilhelm's class.
It's true. When you guys were in school, I made it clear I'm not mom. I'm Mrs. Wilhelm while we're here.
Yeah.
And you guys were very good in school. Never had a problem. Never abused.
It's true.
Never abused the power of having mom at school.
No, we didn't.
This one, I taught PE. She come to the front. Now everybody line up. We're going. I'm like, get your butt back in the line. You're not the teacher.
Get information.
She would yell at the other kids.
No, just kidding.
She would tell the other kids, "My mom teaches her. You know that." And I'm like, "Liv, shut up.
No, I don't.
You have no special privileges because I teach her." She thought she did.
Well, I got middle of the day hugs when
She
I would go
did.
sneak over by the door. I'd like peeking through like the skinny window. Like,
She would.
Mom,
I'd
Mom, about
I meet her
that.
halfway. Yeah.
Like a prison.
Sometimes, because I'd be like, "Can I go get a drink of water? Go to the bathroom," and then be like, "Are you going to see your mom?" Like, no, no, I actually have to go to the bathroom this time. Mom, no.
All right, another one.
What's your leftovers?
We talked about the Redneck Drive-In, right? That we did that, and we said that we had done the Naked Gun this year and all this kind of stuff.
Yes, we did.
But we have not discussed, because we said we'd done it 13 years, and we never said what all the movies we'd watched were.
You're right. We've done 14. Now we did 2 in 2021 because we couldn't
skipped
do one in
20.
2020.
Make up for lost time.
So we did do 2 that year.
So hit me with the list.
Okay, so in 2013 is when we started, and that was the original first one with the box TV on the porch.
Yes.
Because we couldn't get
With the
into
built-in
actual
VHS player.
Yeah, with the built-in VHS, we couldn't get into the actual drive-in. So that was Clue.
Yep.
2014, Young Frankenstein. Excellent
I
movie.
recall that. I love
Excellent
Young
movie.
Frankenstein.
If you love Mel Brooks, you'll love it. 2015, Flash Gordon.
I recall
Cult
this.
classic. It's so terrible. It's wonderful.
We met him. That's
Mhm, and
what
we did.
We've
Sam
talked about
Jones,
that. I think
we met
before.
him. Yep, got his autograph.
Autograph.
2016, we went back to Mel Brooks and watched Blazing Saddles. 2017, we watched What's Up Doc, which is Barbra Streisand and a very, very young, introducing Madeline Kahn, which she's hilarious in
Yes.
that. Ryan O'Neal, I think,
you
is in
watched
that.
Flash Gordon third.
We did?
Interesting.
Yep. Then we went to, in 2018, Doctor Strangelove, or How I Learned to Love the Bomb. That one is not a...
How I learned to stop worrying and
Stop
love
Worrying
the
and Love the Bomb, yeah. So it's not, that was not like a rip roaring, laugh out loud, like,
Oh, I did.
science,
What is
but that one is more I don't know. There's definitely parts where you laugh out loud, but there's like a lot of little stuff that if you're not watching, you'll miss it, and it's
you-
very funny.
How I learned to stop worrying and love
Love
the,
the
bomb.
That's the full
That's the
title.
full title.
I don't even remember. Like, what is? I don't even remember watching that.
It's the black and white one. The gentlemen, there's no funny in here. This is the war room.
Yeah.
Oh yes,
that
that one.
Um,
That has what's his face? Who is Mufasa? Back me up here. James Earl Jones is
Oh,
in
is
that.
he? Is he
A
really?
very- he's on the
Oh,
plane.
You know what? I also have down here that we didn't watch a movie in 2019, so we haven't done.
There were
You know why?
2 years.
Because we were planning on doing the movie. It was Father's Day, and your dad had a heart attack,
Loser.
and we left and went to the hospital instead. So we did
Gotta
not
make
do
everything all
We
the
also
way.
didn't do one in 2019.
Yeah.
2020 was the pandemic, and then 2021 we did two. Johnny Dangerously.
Johnny Dangerously.
Donnie
Osmond.
Johnny Dangerously. And then we did one of my siblings in my favorite movies of all time, The Ghost in the Invisible Bikini.
Which is also excellent.
So excellent. It's so silly. We were kids when this came out, so it's very old. And we just find this movie hysterical.
Mm-hmm.
Then we did 2023, The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes's Younger Brother. With, that's got
Madeline Kahn and Gene Wilder and Marty Feldman.
come back together again in that one, and we lost it. We loved that one. I think that was a crowd favorite. We all thought that was
That one
hilarious.
was the first
Sure,
one.
Nick.
That was the
My
first
wife's
one.
book.
That,
Oh, I skipped one. Sorry. Before The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes' Younger Brother,
my
2022, we did Kung Fu Hustle.
I was
Oh.
okay. Yes.
Yeah, I skipped over 2022.
Okay, hold on. So that one was before or after the Ghost in the Maze?
So after The Ghost in the Invisible
But
Bikini.
before Sherlock.
Before The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes' Younger Brother. And then this year, The Naked Gun.
Well, I will say that if you want, we could count that 1 year. This wasn't technically a Redneck Drive-In, but we watched with Kate and Luke Arsenic and Old
We
Lace
did. We showed them
on the projector.
There was one. Whenever they would come down, we would typically try to have like a sleepover at my house with them.
Yeah.
And we did. We watched Arsenic
Arsenic
and
and
Old
Old
Lace.
Lace, which is also very
It
funny.
is so old, but it's so
Oh
wonderful.
my god, it's
This
so
is-
funny.
you will-
Wonderful is a strong
It's
word.
the craziest movie. Because I'm not going to spoil it because if you haven't seen it, you need to go watch Arsenic and Old Lace. It's
I would not spoil
absolutely fantastic. Cary Grant is in that, and his facial expressions
Boris-
are hysterical.
Not Boris Karloff is not in that one.
No.
That's the guy who says that's what he looks like.
Boris Karloff is in The Ghost in the Invisible Bikini. Actually, he's in that. It's like one of the last movies
Yes.
he did.
Do you know Arsenic and Old Lace is a 1944 film?
Yeah, I mean it's in black and white,
Wow.
super old.
I
So
love that
great.
movie.
Love it.
That's-
We all love that movie. My whole family loves that movie.
You know who's in it is the guy.
The guy who always plays Igor, whatever.
He-
Peter Lorre. It's Peter Lorre.
Yes, Peter
yeah,
Lorre.
Yeah, like it's Peter Lorre. He's got those big eyes. He's German,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
I couldn't tell you the things I've seen him in are Arsenic and Old Lace and the Mad Monster Party. He voices the one
He
guy.
voices the character that's kind of himself. Igor.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Because he plays a classic Igor, I think, in classic monster movies. Yeah.
100%.
So yeah, I mean, if you ever need a funny movie, these are all excellent ones to choose from.
Excellent.
Oh yeah, well, and then other movies we've talked about. Boris Karloff is actually in
Oh yeah,
A Comedy of Terrors.
this is such a great movie.
God, who all is in that one?
I don't know,
It's-
but we love that movie so much.
we're suckers for like the older movies.
I haven't found it yet to buy it, so we can do it for our Redneck Drive-In, but it's on my list of ones to find.
Yep, that one has the cast is Vincent Price, Peter Lorre, Boris Karloff, is it Basil Rathbone?
Oh yeah, Basil Rathbone. Yeah. I
And
mean,
it's
this
like-
is just a stellar cast.
right,
Truly.
well, and some at least three. I don't know much about Basil Rathbone, but
He
at
played
least
like your classic Sherlock Holmes,
oh okay,
I believe.
Well,
Yeah.
and he is so he's in that, but the other three, Boris Karloff, Peter Lorre, and Vincent Price, are heavy hitters from like the horror genre.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Which is hilarious.
So, Comedy of Terror is how it's
Yes.
supposed to be, the scary movie, but it ends up being very funny.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, it is
Yeah,
absolutely
you and I
hilarious.
watched that one. That was on.
And it's so funny to watch, like someone that you think of as typically in a monster movie or a scary movie, to watch them be funny, to actually be in a
Yes.
comedy,
because they really sell it.
because they're so great at it. Yeah.
Yes.
So that's just Yeah, it's just kind of wild, but it's a great movie. Absolutely.
Anyway, those are some of the. We threw out the movie, so because it was close, it was between The Naked Gun and Hot Fuzz.
True. And Hot Fuzz is excellent if you haven't seen that. If I love Simon Pegg, who is in Hot Fuzz.
Yeah.
I love his movies. I think he's hilarious.
He is hilarious, yeah.
So any Simon Pegg movie,
I love
I'm totally in.
Hot Fuzz, and Hot Fuzz is like the buddy cop one kind of thing that's like a little creepy, a little funny.
Right.
And then of course Shaun of the Dead is
They him and what's the other guy, Nick, the other guy, his guy, these two guys do these, Simon Pegg and Nick, whatever his name is, they do these movies together, so they're in a whole bunch of them like that. Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz,
Yes.
At World's End, Paul, those are the ones I can think of off the top of my
Nick
head.
Frost.
Nick Frost, yeah, how could I forget that name? Yeah. So they're hilarious together, and they're so good, and I love them. They're so great. Simon Pegg is also in like the new Star Trek movies, and he's so
is he?
fantastic. Yeah, he plays Mr. Scott.
is.
Yes, and
I
he's so
forgot about
awesome.
that.
Yeah,
He is.
So I love, and he's also in like the Mission Impossible movies.
I
And
did know this.
I just love him. I think
I've
he's
never
such a
seen a
great
Mission
actor.
Impossible movie
Oh,
actually.
I actually like him. So
I don't have anything bad to say about it.
Sure.
I just never seen them.
So yeah,
But,
anybody got a good comedy to recommend to us? Hit
Yeah.
us up. Let us know. 'Cause
If-
we're always
yeah.
looking for a good movie
If you
to
know,
show at the Redneck Drive-In.
if you know most or any of those movies, you get the vibe.
You get the vibe, yeah.
You know.
We kind of try to find something that most people haven't seen, especially like the older generation. We try to pick something for the younger generation that maybe you haven't seen. So that's why some of it's kind of old. But we're kind of open. As long as it's funny, we're open, right?
Yeah, listener Kate, we went up to their house, her and Elijah, and we watched Kung Pao Enter the Fist. Enter the Fist.
Yeah. Oh, I have that on my list. I actually recommended that.
Yes, which is very funny.
Is it
It's
funny?
also
Okay.
it's like a Kung Fu Hustle sort
Yes.
of.
Well, Kung Fu Hustle, we bought Kung Fu Hustle, and it was a twofer.
Yeah,
And it
They're
came
coming.
with this movie called The Mermaid.
And you guys
I've
have
been
watched that.
dying to show you guys this
I
movie.
know. I haven't seen it.
Your dad and I watched it. We're like, you know what the hell? Let's just watch it. We loved it. We laughed our asses off. It's
Really?
so great. Yes.
Oh.
I don't remember anything about it now. It's been that long since I've watched it. But all I remember is we laughed really hard.
Yeah.
So I'm like, been dying to show you
We gotta
guys this
watch it.
movie. Yeah. Well, you know what? After I have surgery next Monday, on the 19th, so be thinking about me. People.
Oh,
Although actually, this
stop.
is going to air after that.
So
Been
watch that.
dying to show you guys this
I
movie.
know. I haven't seen it.
Your dad and I watched it. We're like, you know what the hell? Let's just watch it. We loved it. We laughed our asses off. It's
Really?
so great. Yes.
Oh.
I don't remember anything about it now. It's been that long since I've watched it. But all I remember is we laughed really hard.
Yeah.
So I'm like, been dying to show you
We gotta
guys this
watch
movie. Yeah. Well, you know what? After I have surgery next Monday, on the 19th, so be thinking about me. People.
Oh,
Although actually, this
stop.
is going to air after that, so surgery will be over.
This is
but when I'm recovering, you guys got to come over and we're gonna
See,
because
you're
I won't be able to
nice.
drive. I have to tell you this. I've saved this in my camera roll to
Don't
read
forget
this
you
to
can
you
sign
for
a
the
lot
longest
when
time, and I was going to
Okay.
read it to you.
Oh, hit me with it.
When we did the animal or the pet episode, I read this and I thought it was so great. It said that the act of sending your friends and family little videos or little memes or whatever, like we do on like Instagram or Facebook,
Okay.
is called pebbling. And they named it after how penguins bring pebbles to their loved ones.
Oh.
Isn't that the cutest thing?
That makes me
That's
want to
very
stone
cute.
Abby then.
We're gonna send her lots of stones. I thought that was really cute.
Public stoning.
Because I didn't realize
That.
penguins bring little pebbles to their loved ones.
Right.
And we send each other funny memes and things that make
We
us think of
do.
each other or
We do.
laugh. And yeah, because I send you ones that specifically make me think of you, or I think I know you're going to laugh at, and I'll send Sam maybe different ones and live different ones.
oh, I meant to show you.
And it's called pebbling.
Mom sent
We took a
me
picture
YouTube shorts.
with Emily at her wedding. Me and Sarah and Em did.
Oh, let me see.
And so she sent me the picture.
Oh, look at everybody.
Look at everybody.
Oh, so Sarah is on the left, obviously.
So you
Emily's
do
in the
have
middle.
friends.
Yeah.
And clearly you're
That's me.
in your pineapple shirt on
My
the
khakis.
right. In your
Sweating to
khakis. In the barn.
I sent Olivia. She goes, "What are you wearing to this wedding?"
Look at Emily, your dress is so beautiful. Oh, Sarah, look at you and your look at she got fun shoes on. Look at
Yes.
how cute. Oh, everybody's got a drink. Oh man, I'm glad you guys had fun. I'm so glad you got to see these
Do you know I
ladies.
sent Olivia a picture
So great.
of my outfit that I'm gonna wear to the wedding.
Okay.
And it's it's khakis and a pineapple shirt.
Which was
whatever.
since it was in a barn, you're good.
Sure,
If it
right.
had been anywhere else, I would not have recommended.
Really?
Yes.
Oh dear.
100%.
Well, listen, we already talked about. I don't have any fashion sense. I have no idea.
We
No
have
concept.
discussed this, and you're lucky that you're very nice and fun because no one cares. So that's good. You're lucky.
Okay, well, I send a picture to Olivia.
Yes.
Because she says, "What are you wearing to this wedding?"
Okay.
So I send her a picture.
Who we might put out there that Liv does have fashion sense, but sometimes painfully reminds me that maybe I
Well,
don't.
look at her hair right now. What's going on
What's
with
wrong with her hair?
I put a part of my hair with a hair clip.
It's in a little claw. That's no big.
Are
That's
you a hater?
Well,
all
I just
because you have one hairstyle. Okay.
okay.
I have one hairstyle too. Okay.
No, what about you? You had the little bang thing.
Just called bang. So
You had
Not
a
that
little
bang,
curled up, a little
yanks.
curled out. You couldn't decide.
that was the style in the late '80s, early '90s. I didn't
Oh my
know.
god.
Here, listener, you must know that I have the same curly hair as Abby. So if you know Abby, you know how curly her hair is. I have the same hair. She got it from me, but I flatten mine into
got it from
submission
me.
every day.
Flat went into.
I refuse to have the curls. I hate them.
Okay, hang on. But so anyway, point is, I sent Olivia the picture of my khakis and my pineapple
Yes,
shirt,
yes.
and she texts me back. Is it a beach wedding?
That's actually not. I understand the question. I understand where she's coming from.
She was in Indiana.
Maybe there's a lake.
Aloha from the beaches of Indiana.
All right.
No.
Anyway, what
They
did
don't
you
have
wear?
water.
What did you wear to the wedding?
I
She
wore a dress with sandals and jewelry.
she wore the flowery.
the black pearl
Oh, yeah,
jewelry
yeah,
set.
yeah.
Well, she said that her
So
nails
she
didn't
looked
match. And I
really
was like, "What are you
cute.
talking about?" Because she had these black. She's got these black.
Well,
sparkly
not that
nails.
they
I was like,
didn't match,
actually
but I thought they
really well.
matched the all black dress that I was gonna wear better.
Okay.
But then it's because of the type of like bra that I had. I'm like, it doesn't really look good. in the
Sometimes
back.
your brow will determine that.
So
That's true.
I
Yeah.
changed
And
dresses.
honestly,
You were fine. I think your nails were fine.
Honestly, can you imagine 75 degrees in August? It was a great day.
Honestly,
It-
how
it would've
lucky
been-
for them.
Like I
Yeah.
said, it
You're
would have been like a
right.
50-50 because the fabric that was at the end of the black dress, I added it, tacked it onto my sleeves. With
What was it?
flower
The
caps.
fabric of our lives.
Jesus Christ.
Moving on.
Although
Okay.
Abby, cotton is Olivia's favorite fabric, just so you know.
Me?
No, cotton is Olivia's favorite fabric.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see.
She doesn't like the blend
I
in
don't
her
like-
t-shirts.
what is
She
it?
wants
Is it
100%.
polyester?
She
That's
doesn't-
like the
she
weird
hates,
soft.
She hates polyester blends. And with her
I
cotton.
hate those. I hate those like hot
Get
topic.
your polyester
I-
out of her cotton.
I
Polyester.
hate the hot topic polyester shirts that like. for
And
some
I love
reason
that.
The
Oh,
sleeves
I love
are
those
like
'cause they don't
oddly
wrinkle.
tight, but the shirts fit weird.
I get that. That's
Why is
zero
this
fun
like-
for me too.
like tighter up top and like a
Oh,
dress
Abby's
at the bottom.
making a
and the
very
sleeves
shocked
are,
face.
like,
There was a gas.
suffocating.
There was a gas.
Because I remembered so many things. Because I
Oh
have
my god.
this is a leftovers
Yeah,
episode.
yeah, it
And
is.
so I have some things that are not exactly leftovers, but I have been meaning to bring this up.
Well, then bring
Okay.
one up.
So two things. Number one,
Okay.
have you ever heard of Gildan brand T-shirts?
Gildan, Gilden, like that.
Gildan brand.
I'm glad Mom can spell it.
Gee whiz.
Yes. Have you ever
Okay,
heard of
what-
this?
No. What about him?
So J Dog tells me
So like Lord of the Rings thing.
she tells me that
Gildan
she
brand.
got these whatever Gildan.
Oh, gotcha.
She tells me that she got these shirts or whatever, and I'm like, okay, great, whatever. And she's like, but she just says that she had gotten new shirts. She goes, I can see there's like a small hole in the bag, and I can see in, and she's like, I knew it immediately. Gildan. And she says it's just like, I was like,
Oh my god.
I'm like, what?
What's wrong with
What's
Gildan?
wrong?
Beef
And
with-
she
Give us,
goes,
give us her
she's
beef.
like, they're terrible.
Oh.
She hates them. She had no other specifics on it, but she said they're terrible. Avoid them at all costs. And I was like,
Okay, so
okay.
listener,
she said
Write that down. Write that down.
write
Hold
that
on.
down. Do not buy
Gildan brand.
Gildan brand
But
t-shirts.
she did
You know, now
say-
somebody's gonna find out that we're like slamming Gildan brand t-shirts.
She did say that
I mean,
Comfort
Gildan's
Colors.
amazing.
She did say
That's
that
another
Comfort-
brand?
No. Comfort Colors is good.
Is that a brand?
I guess so.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I'm like, listen, I'm in my therapy appointment writing down, taking notes on Gildan brand t-shirts so I can pass this information on to the listeners.
I'm looking for comfort color t-shirts.
I know. Well, here, okay.
Is
here's-
Comfort Colors made by Gildan? Ooh, that's a good question.
I don't think so.
Comfort Colors is a brand owned by Gildan Activewear. Ah,
Well, but so I guess that's why she'd specified that those ones were okay.
I see. So if you're going to buy something from Gildan, you're going to only buy the Comfort Colors brand from Gildan. Gotcha.
So here's the thing that I was gasping about. It
Okay,
wasn't
what were you
Gildan
guessing?
brand
What were you
t-shirt.
guessing?
I was gasping because we're recording like 3 of these podcasts. Boom, boom, boom. Really quick.
We are. We're stockpiling once again because the
Because
surgery
you are having
finally is
surgery.
now scheduled for the 19th. Yes.
Right. And just in case you have a prolonged recovery, I want to be ready. You know,
Right. Right.
we
Knock
have
on
the time.
wood, it's outpatient.
Right.
And we're gonna assume everything's gonna go according to plan.
So we're leaving here yesterday. We're driving home, Ash and I
Okay,
are.
okay.
And this commercial comes on the radio for Bart Inman Air Conditioning. Have you heard this man's radio commercials?
Yeah, I think
online?
I have, and they're kind of terrible, aren't they?
They are the best and worst
Worst
things
you've ever heard. Yes.
I have no words.
She really does have no words.
It really is.
Are you gonna play it for us?
I'm trying to find
Oh,
if
okay.
somebody has recorded, because he just kind of chit chats. He's like,
He
it's been a hot one for the farmers with the eggs.
He just starts
They said
talking.
he's been so hot that they're having eggs and they're having little chicks.
It's incubating the egg.
I have no idea what you're advertising.
I have heard this man. He just starts talking, and I agree with you. I have no idea what he's talking about. I changed the radio. I heard it like on the radio. I changed it because I'm like, what is this? What is this dude just on the radio just talking about random stuff?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: he gets the ads on there at like prime time, so you're spending a lot of money.
He is.
And so
But the thing is, I guess it's working because you know what he's advertising. You figured it out.
I only figured out because I had to write it down.
You had to look it up.
I had to write it down as he was saying it.
Well,
I didn't know what it
certainly,
was.
Certainly.
Well, so because this person puts they put a quote and they go, if you're on the internet, that's the website is Bart with a B Inman with an I.com. God bless.
Yes.
That's he. I don't even. I have no words.
I've heard him say that, and I'm like, is this what is he at? What is he selling? Is he selling something, or does he just like
air
telling
conditioning.
telling you his website?
Air
conditioning.
it's gonna. That's why he was like, so it's hot out there. And he goes, so I can imagine. Well, I mean, not at your house specifically, but I've been in houses without air conditioning. This is just like that's the actual ad.
I know.
If you're in the St. Louis area, you've probably heard one of
Probably
these.
have. You probably have.
It
'Cause I heard it.
absolutely
Yeah.
outrageous. My favorite one, and I wish I could find it, is that he talks about the cicadas.
Oh, okay.
When you remember when the cicadas were really
Yep,
bad or whatever,
yep,
and
you're
he's
right.
like, I can't even believe it because, the cicadas are out. They were attacking me, and he's just, I'm like, what are you advertising? Like,
His podcast.
No clue.
I've
Podcast.
never been so just dumbfounded.
yeah. And you think he just came up with that himself?
I don't know.
Or what? Because he's got like a following now of people who are like,
Does he?
this guy is an absolute hoot. And yeah, I think it's hilarious.
Hold
There's YouTube videos now
on.
of
I'm
him.
clicking on this one.
There's people like, anybody else get a kick out of Bart Inman's commercials? Yeah, it's hilarious.
I never in my life. I'll
Birds.
tell you what, he's got 4.6 stars online, so I guess they're doing something.
Maybe he
right.
does a good job. Who knows, right?
Like
It's
the way
just
that
this
he
old
talks
white
is-
dude.
And
Yeah.
call me Bart. That's Bart with a B, Inman with an I,
Right.
air.com or whatever. I'm like.
It's just
Cracks me up.
it's just hilarious.
Literally every time, because it's like the commercials are terrible, and they're so terrible that every time they come on, me and Ash are like, shh,
Right?
The commercial's on.
You-
The commercial's on.
You stop and you listen. This man turns out evil mastermind.
Whoa.
Everybody's listening.
So many people like they're like, I hate these commercials, or people are like
Right.
they do it with like, everybody shut up. Bart Inman's on.
Bart Inman's on the radio.
I said, I was like, Ashley, what's up? And she goes, because Ash used to work for Fox. She would do the little graphics and whatnot,
Right.
on the second shift, and she's like, well, here's the thing: a lot of people who like want to run commercials or whatever, one of the packages that you could get was they would you could send in like basically your raw footage, and then like Fox would cut it together for you.
Okay.
And so she's like, I bet that's what it is.
Yeah.
Whatever radio thing he's paying to like run these, he's probably just sending a bunch of raw footage, and this is what they cut together.
Yeah. This is what they were like. This is fantastic. Just the way it is. We're gonna run it.
Well, because
Yeah.
I was listening.
He went with the ultra cheap package
I don't know.
and just threw it out there.
Or it's like that's all they had to work with.
Who knows?
They barely got the.
And he could have been very specific. This is what I'm doing.
So I had that written down.
How hilarious!
That
is
I
that?
had to bring that up because
That's
I was
so
like,
funny. It's
now-
funny that you brought that up. I'm glad you did because I've heard this too, and I'm like, what is happening? What am I hearing here? This is so wild.
it is so wild.
Hilarious.
Now, did we come up with the secret sauce?
Well, I said, since we're just addressing the leftovers, let me come up with a sauce that's good
What's
with
a good
everything.
leftover
Good with
sauce?
leftovers. And I said, queso.
Queso.
Why not? Because it goes good with everything.
It is. It's good on
So-
basically everything.
Right. So
We love queso.
queso
We just
is,
went to the
is the
Casa Maria
sauce. Yeah.
last night.
Oh, did you? Yum.
Yeah.
Love it.
Because we didn't eat. Because you guys got fucking Applebee's. You guys were placing an order without us.
I think I inhaled
It's
that
okay.
sirloin, man.
It's
I
okay.
am.
Do you want to hear my scoop, my
Dying.
scoop, my poop?
Absolutely.
I saved this from last week because we kind of ran out of time. So I'm like, you know what?
Leftovers.
We're on leftovers. It's perfect.
It's perfect.
This happened in Carbondale, Illinois. For nearly 2 years, a motherless 8-year-old girl spoke and wrote movingly of her struggle to deal with her soldier father being shipped off to fight in Iraq.
Okay.
The Southern Illinois University student newspaper, the Daily Egyptian,
Uh,
chronicled her thoughts in its pages.
is this gonna be funny?
But there turns out the girl's name was Cody Kennings.
Okay.
For 2 years, they ran her things that she wrote
Okay.
about her struggles of her dad being overseas in Iraq.
Okay.
Turns out there was no Cody Kennings.
Oh.
The whole thing was a hoax.
What?
And it was exposed, and the poor Daily Egyptian was very embarrassed because they had run all of these
Yeah.
things thinking that it was
Well,
this
yeah.
a real person, a real little
Because
girl
what kind of shitty person would do
who
that?
was supposed to be 8 years old, and there was a 2004 SIU graduate who had posed as Cody's guardian, and I don't
and
know.
wrote this whole thing?
Well, here's the thing. The 10-year-old girl who posed as Cody in an actual public and an appearance for her, and then they took pictures of her and filmed her. Her parents or guardian or whoever thought that she was filming something else. Okay, they thought she was filming and she was being paid to do this, and they thought it was she wanted to get into maybe acting or whatever, and they thought
Sure.
it was all legit, and it wasn't. Then whoever this person was who ended up doing this used her likeness and made up the name because that's not her real.
Well, sure. No, I mean
It might be her real name. I don't even know.
Probably
but
not.
I think it's not her real name. I
But
think it's
yeah,
made
but
up name.
they had this
Right,
girl
and
that-
this poor girl. They were like, no, we didn't know anything about this. We are not part of this scam.
Oh,
we are not part of this.
And he's like, what is that even like? What's the scam here?
Well, here's the thing, and the newspaper had to put it out there and just said there's no pleasant way to put this. None of this is real. None of this is true, and we didn't check the facts carefully enough. We believed we were told that this person was
That's
telling us the truth.
insane.
And how crazy is this? But the person who did this
What is this from? What is this
never
from?
asked for money.
Well, that's what I was like. What's the scam?
You can't
here?
even necessarily say that it's a scam, I guess, or because they never asked for donations.
So it's not a scam. It's not a Ponzi.
But I guess
it was a Ponzi.
But it is. They represented themselves fraudulently.
Yeah,
I
well, yeah,
guess.
it is fraud. But like,
And then of course the guy who was the author of the articles that were in the DE, they blamed him for making it all up, and just because he wanted something to write, and he was like, "No, I didn't know. I'm not
Well,
part of it. You know, I was sent these things, and so I
well, because they're all
put it together and
students,
thought it
like-
was a heartwarming
yeah.
kind of thing."
As a person who
and-
worked at the DE, they're students. We don't know.
right, and he was like, "No, I was blindsided by this as much as everybody." That's
Yeah.
what he claims.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm like, can you even imagine someone for 2 years pretended to be an 8-year-old girl
Okay.
and wrote this stuff?
When did this happen? What's the article dated?
2005.
Damn.
So it's before you were ever down in Carbondale.
Well, yeah.
But can you even imagine
That's insane.
They ran this for 2 years and thought this was a real person and her real experiences.
That's
And the whole
wild.
thing ended up being fake.
That's wild, wacky stuff.
I don't know how they found out that it was fake.
This
I don't know.
content is a little too.
Somebody just might have looked into it more because, like, you know, it starts to fall apart as soon as you have to be like, hey, can we come over? Like, can we send one of our photographers to take a picture or whatever when the father is back or so? You know what I mean? The whole thing starts to fall apart.
Yeah, the person who was actually going to school, because you know that they're students.
There's most of them are
It's a
journalism
student,
majors.
you know, paper, and most of the workers there are students. And people were blaming him for wanting to advance his career. And he's like, I'm not graduating from college for another year and a half. This is not going to help me advance my career. Like,
Well, and that kind of a story is not. It's like more of a fluff piece. It's not
Right.
really a
100% a fluff piece,
Yeah.
right? So
wild.
yeah, how
That's insane.
crazy is that?
Well, you want a funny history
Yeah.
thing? Okay, would you like to know about... I've already told about the kerfuffle. That was the assassination of the Archduke
Okay.
Prince Ferdinand. Well, I can tell about Anne of Cleves. Actually, I've been listening to Six, the musical.
Oh my gosh, if you haven't seen Six, it's so great, and it's coming to the Foxes coming up season.
is.
So
So
yeah.
Anne of Cleves is a German woman, and I don't remember what her title was. If she was a princess, if she was a lady, you know, whatever her title was. Okay, she is said to be the fourth wife of Henry VIII. Okay, who, if you're not aware, Henry VIII is the king who's known for beheading multiple of his wives. Okay, so at the time he had already had Catherine, the first Catherine, right, who he divorced, but the divorce separated them from the church. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so he starts the COE, the Church of England,
right.
in order to get divorced. And then he marries Anne Boleyn,
Yes.
okay, and then beheads her.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he marries Jane Seymour, has his first son with Jane Seymour.
Okay.
I think his only son. Then she dies in childbirth.
Yes.
Okay, so now we're on to wife number 4.
Right.
So here's the thing, okay? He'd kind of been going through quite a few wives
He's going
at
through
this
the
point.
wives, that's for sure.
Right. Okay. Here's the thing. And also, by the way, Catherine, the first Catherine,
Oh, I don't know.
Catherine of Aragon.
is it? Yes. Gets it in one. Okay, Catherine of Aragon. Okay, she was supposed to marry Henry's brother, and then I think he dies. Oh yeah, she's married to Henry's older brother Arthur, Prince of Wales, for a short period of time before he dies.
Okay.
She's then imprisoned for for I think a couple years before she then marries Henry VIII. Why she is imprisoned? It's not her fault that Arthur dies, but you know.
we're gonna
Catherine Aragon, she got the shit end of the
100%.
stick.
Well, she was in prison because he wanted to marry. Didn't he want to marry?
No. They imprisoned her after Arthur died before she married Henry.
Before Henry, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, point is that by the time he needs a fourth wife, he's gone through. He's kind of got a reputation. You beheaded the second one,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the third one died in childbirth. Okay.
Right.
So, Hans Holbein is an artist. He is paid to go and paint pictures of all these women, and then they're gonna bring it back in Tinder style. Okay, they do this in the show that the swipe left, swipe right on this.
Right.
And that's he basically does. He picks based on the picture. Okay, I'm gonna marry that one because it'd be too much to ship the person in.
It would just be too difficult. Yeah.
Right,
That would
okay.
that would require effort. Yeah.
It's ridiculous. So
Okay.
he chooses Anne of Cleves based on her picture. She shows up, and Henry VIII decides, nah, after seeing her in person. But now it's too late. You've
Right.
already agreed to marry her, all this stuff. And here's the thing. Henry VIII has pissed off Spain and France because he's broken away from the church. Okay?
Right.
And from the Catholic Church specifically, right? And so he is afraid that if he turns away Anne of Cleves, that they are going to form an alliance and try to overthrow Britain.
Right.
So he wants to divorce Anne, but he doesn't want to additionally piss off Germany. Okay? He's already afraid. So he's afraid that France and Spain are going to form this alliance because he's broken away. And now if he like ditches Anne of Cleves,
Right.
now it's gonna be France, Spain, and Germany.
And he's really in it.
Britain is really very small.
He's really pissing off a lot of people. Yeah.
Yeah, too many.
Because he's a whore.
So he is. Henry VIII is a whore.
Legit.
So, so that's the thing. So when Anne agrees to the annulment, because she does agree,
Yes.
with no fight, he gives her a ton of property, money, dresses, jewels. She can go to court, etc., and she never has to remarry as long as she stays in England.
Yeah. She gets her own nice little, not little house.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So this is like, every woman's dream in 16th century
And
England.
doesn't have to put up with his bullshit.
Doesn't have to put with him. Never has to remarry.
No one can boss her around.
Property. And they do say it in the musical. She's like, it's tragic, because this is great.
Yeah.
And she's forever known as like the woman who was like so ugly that Henry divorced her, and it was just that like whatever, basically it's because she didn't match the picture.
Right.
Who gives a shit?
No, well, the thing is, I saw a thing online that was like, she wasn't ugly.
No,
It just,
in no
he just-
way.
it was like, nah.
In
I'm doing
no
it.
way was she
Right.
ugly.
Right.
It's just like she didn't match, but I'm like, listen, this is the life.
Yeah,
Okay?
yeah.
She agrees. She's like, oh, so we don't have to get married, and I'm gonna get a bunch of property that I'll never have to marry, and I can like do whatever I
I
want
can
for the
control
rest
my
of my
money
life.
myself.
Yep.
Sold.
Honestly, such a bold,
Sold.
such a
Like,
bold
here's the thing, like I said-
because King Henry was so
Well, exactly.
like not just like morally, physically disgusting, because he had like really bad leg ulcers that like stunk up the freaking palace.
Ew, woo.
Yes.
So
Well, he kills Anne Boleyn because she doesn't produce a male heir.
Well,
and charges her, accuses her of adultery,
um,
and beheads her.
it's
That's what the history books will say.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's a couple things like accusations of adultery, and then they also accuse her of plotting against the king's life.
Which,
So
he couldn't do another divorce. So yeah. What did she really do all that stuff? Probably not.
she probably did sleep around.
I mean, but they all did.
But
yeah.
Henry was
He
sleeping
did,
around.
yeah.
Right. And that's why
she's a
that's why the second Catherine, who is way younger, and her thing is so sad. Because she is I'm gonna pull it up real quick. Here we go. Catherine Howard. There were 3 Catherines, by the way. Catherine of Aragon, Catherine Howard, Catherine Parr. Catherine Parr survives.
Right.
Catherine Howard is married to him. She is born in 1523 and is executed in 1542. So if you're doing the math, right, she's extremely young.
Right.
You said 1523.
Yeah.
So she didn't even make it to her 20s.
She was 18 years old when she was executed.
Gee whiz.
Yeah.
And what did he accuse her of?
Oh,
Same thing?
adultery.
Adultery again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But which was true. Like it was true, but like.
But did she deserve to die for that?
No.
No.
That's what I'm saying. It's
So
like,
it's BS, yeah.
and that's.
But
the
if she
thing.
was a
Because
witch, though.
he was committing adultery himself, but he doesn't get his head chopped off. Yeah.
he
So interesting.
so 19 days after he annuls the marriage with Anne Boleyn,
Anne Boleyn, Anne of Cleves.
you're right. He annuls the marriage with Anne of Cleves. He marries
had
Catherine Howard.
Okay.
Okay. And now here's the thing, because it's so quick, right? So the story that's like passed around is that he said no to Anne of Cleves because of her picture and all the stuff, blah 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 blah. Realistically, everybody's like, no, it's because he found this other hot girl that he wanted to be with.
That's exactly what
And
he
so he
did.
changed his mind.
Right.
So at the time when he marries Catherine Howard, he is 49. Okay.
Okay.
She's 17.
Ew.
Yeah. It's like it's so sad.
But that's
Wait, who's
not
the dude
that's
that's
not unheard of, and he's not the only one that did it. Let's be honest.
Okay, so like I said,
What,
19 days later, after annulling the marriage with Anne of Cleves, he marries Catherine Howard, who was 17 at the time.
Right.
And he's 49. 3 months later, she is stripped of her title as queen and beheaded on the grounds of treason for committing adultery with Thomas Culpeper. Yeah, super sad. She
Yeah.
is queen for like, not even 6 months before
Right.
he beheads her for adultery and whatnot. And so shitty. The in 6, hers is when they do her song, whatnot, is the saddest of them. Like it starts kind of
Yeah.
like upbeat, and then the more that they do it, you're like, oh, this just fucking
Yeah,
sucks.
it actually hurt. Yeah.
Because
She was very pretty, and yeah.
she's right, and she's like this young girl and whatnot, and so like yeah, as later after like we had seen the show or whatever, and like months later I'm like, oh I like history, right? So I like look into it some more. And to read that she was 17 when she gets married and 18 when she's beheaded, I'm like, that fucking sucks.
Yeah.
That's some fucking bullshit if I ever heard it.
And then you find out the different men in her life who
oh God, took
lie her
advantage
and
of
tell her that they love her and they
Right.
don't.
Thomas
Just-
is no different.
just
Thomas
to-
is a
yeah,
dick.
just to
Uses
get
her.
what they want. Yeah.
Right? Does Thomas get beheaded? I don't know. I didn't look it up, but probably not.
Right.
Couldn't
No,
behead
it's
men for
everything's
adultery.
always blamed on the woman.
Oh,
Come on.
bastards.
Get it right.
All right. Well,
I think we're out of time,
we
folks.
sure are out of time.
All right. Well, I hope we addressed enough of our leftovers.
Probably
that we
not.
Had. But there's always leftovers, so
Exactly.
maybe we'll do another leftovers episode some other day. But anyway, I don't know about you guys, but after this, I'm gonna need some serious beef.
And maybe from that series, maybe it was series leftovers.
All right. Bye.
Bye.